told my husband, I'm like, are you sure you want to vote Republican? And he's saying he's going to deport criminals. You're not a criminal. Every time we go to ICE, they tell you, Mr. Juarez, your wife is no criminal. He voted for him, and now he's deporting his wife. And now they deported me, they kicking me out, and they breaking my family apart. Before you enlist in the military, think it twice. Before you marry an immigrant, think it twice. Think it if it's really worth for you to sell this country.
Oh, it has really become like that. What is this administration turning into? Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by, supporting your girl on this channel. So all credit goes to the creators in these videos. Guys, in today's video,
Beautiful scam of a bill passed the House and it's on its way to the Senate, and Republicans are celebrating that they're screwing over the American people to put more money in their donors' pockets. Now, there's lots of terrible things in this bill. It cuts Medicaid, throwing millions of people off their health insurance. It cuts food share by $300 billion and adds stupid work requirements. So now you gotta work until you're 64 instead of 54 if you want to get those benefits. They quite literally want us working until we die. It gives $45 billion to the border wall. It gives $25 billion to build a golden security dome. He wants to encapsulate us and trap us while he fucks off the relations with all our allies. But the most concerning thing that I've seen so far in this bill is that it strips the courts of their power to hold Trump in contempt. Unless you pay. So basically, he doesn't have to listen to the Supreme Court anymore when they tell him to stop deporting people without due process. That no longer becomes an order, that just becomes a suggestion. And that's not just for immigration cases, that's for civil rights abuses, that's for racial discrimination cases. So any senator that claims to care about democracy should be voting no on this bill. Thank you.
So even red states are being denied assistance for natural disasters. First there was Arkansas, now there's North Carolina. Hurricane season's gonna be fun.
Hear me and hear me very loud. I'm telling you right now, I will never, ever vote for another Republican except Rand Paul because he has balls. But I tell you what, today, I'm fucking disappointed in Trump pardoning the Chrisleys and a sheriff who stole money. Are you freaking kidding me? All the haters of Trump, I totally comprehend it now. I am so disappointed that he's done this, and then has the audacity to say, oh, they didn't deserve it. I'm so pissed. But you will never, Republicans, J.D. Vance, anybody that runs for president, Republicans, you are losing my vote.
I voted for Trump. I still don't like this post that the White House made on X, basically joking that deportations are like music to our ears. Don't get me wrong, I voted for policy, not feelings.
You voted for this. When you vote for cruelty, don't be surprised when you see cruelty. You heard Trump say this.
They're not humans. They're animals.
And this.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in.
And all of this. But this ASMR video was too much for you? You're just upset that this administration that you voted for is taking pleasure in enacting cruelty. Whatever policy you voted for resulted in this tasteless ASMR gimmick where the dehumanization of people is not only being encouraged, but being laughed at. When we dehumanize each other, we eliminate empathy. We forget that support of certain policies actually affect real people, like the people in that ASMR video who are actually going through that and suffering because of it. Trump is using wartime resources for some of the most aggressive mass deportation plans ever, doubling the number of troops and National Guard members at the southern border, using military sites to detain people, These facilities are not built for that. The conditions are often terrible. Reportedly, children and teenagers have been suffering distress and panic attacks while being held in them, often for months at a time before they can be released. Tightening of security requirements for sponsors of migrant children only make it more difficult for them to be released from federal custody and reunited with their families, which doesn't help the overcrowding issue. To support themselves and their families, immigrant children risk working in illegal and exploitative workplaces, sometimes at the cost of their lives. Evan, you say that deportation has to happen with the level of human empathy, but then you also say that you're happy with the policy progress that Trump has made. This is the kind of cognitive dissonance I find really frustrating with Republicans. We all agree that we need to operate with empathy, but that's not what you voted for. These jokes, these trolls, are just ways for Trump to downplay his own provocations. We've seen it time and time again. He doesn't really mean that the 2020 election was stolen. The transition of power will be smooth. Oopsie, made a whoopsie. Every joke, every troll is just an admission of what he really wanted to do all along. Fascist trolling is still fascism. The insidious dehumanizing of others for the purposes of comedy often influences people to revel in the suffering of those people rather than oppose it. Selena Gomez got so much shit for her video crying over the treatment of immigrants that she had to take it down, but the sound of shackles framed as ASMR on the official White House social media accounts, that's just fine. Do not fall into the cycle of degrading others because it's convenient, fun, or politically advantageous. These are people, and we need to treat them as such. We need to not vote for cruelty, although it's a bit late for some of you. We can learn our rights, refuse ICE's unwarranted entry into our workplaces, schools, and residences, send messages to Congress, share resources with our neighbors and communities, donate to charities. Just because the White House celebrates inhumanity doesn't give us permission to. If we want to see more empathy, vote for it. Advocate for it, embody it, build longer tables, not higher walls.
And that's on period, because you cannot say you voted for something and you come out again and say you don't like what that something is doing. If you want a change, you vote for those that will bring a change, right? Because you cannot say you don't want cruelty and you voted for something that will bring cruelty. I mean, it doesn't add up. It's like you're just confusing yourself, or you really do not know what you believe in.
I work in healthcare, and Hong Kong just announced yesterday that they were completely stopping all postal service to the United States. Who did that? Hong Kong. Hong Kong, okay. And we get 50% of all of our medical supplies and 91% of our medications from China. So hospitals are going to close. Yeah. What immediate action will you take to stop this? Hospitals are going to be immediately crippled as soon as next.
Did you guys hear about red states after these tornadoes now begging for FEMA help? Isn't this the very thing that they voted against? Is this a FAFO for red states? Did you know that tornado season is coming? There is no plan in place for tornado season. These are all red states. Is this stupidity? Is it greed? Is it not being educated? What do you think? Do you think it's, oh, I didn't think it would affect me, or like I don't care about the other guy, and not realizing like that they need FEMA?
Let's talk about this big, beautiful bill, shall we? American citizens making less than $17,000 per year will have their taxes increased by $1,000. If you make between $17,000 and $51,000, your taxes are going to increase by $700 a year. But people making over $4.3 million, their taxes will decrease by $389,000 per year. And the Medicaid cuts, they won't go into effect until 2029. Hospitals and clinics will be closing by the hundreds, and you'll be blaming the Democrats for the chaos. Your taxes will go up, you won't receive any of your government services, and you'll be blaming Kamala Harris, AOC, Gavin Newsom. I don't know, maybe we'll just go back to blaming Hillary or Barack Obama. This is class warfare, and you are falling for it, line and sinker.